Yeah, dude. Alright, so I'm live. There's some stuff behind me. You're kind of seeing the back end of the analytics. There she is. I'm here. It's happened, finally. Sorry. Um, my laptop is slow and old and crappy, and I'm early today. You're here today, finally, because none of us have seen you in weeks. We thought you were disappeared on us. Uh, this live stream literally is for you, so I'm glad you're here. So give me 1 second. Let me get some stuff happening in the background to distract people from the fact that my live streams aren't always super entertaining. And let me swap over, get my phone doing what it's supposed to do. We're still figuring out this whole live stream thing. I know, shameful. That's all right. We'll forgive you. Being a parent has its downsides. You have to actually, do things with your kids. Make them go mountain biking. It's horrible. Alright, kids, we're mountain biking today. No options, you just have to. But, Mom! Tough. I wish I was made to go mountain biking all the time. Some wires and stuff together here. Hoping the short one's enough to reach my phone, and I'm hoping that I also don't unplug my thing. Alright, let's try this without unplugging the webcam. So far, so good. This way I can pull up chat on my phone, and I need to plug in my other phone because the battery's almost dead. It's kind of loud outside today. Allow access to phone, data, blah blah blah. Alright, hopefully nothing dies. So give me just a minute. Sorry about the late start, everybody. It's happening. It's gone down. We're live. Can't do that. Dang it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta figure something out here in a second. I guess I can switch phones and use the other phone to cast videos to the TV at the front of the shop. Alright, anyway, I'm here. We're talking, we're doing stuff. I got 2 cameras going today again, which is cool. I kind of like the fact that I was forced to learn how to live stream better. Behind me, I have an ancient Cannondale that I'm doing some stuff on, one of which seems a little silly. I'm downgrading the rear derailleur. I guess you wanted matching parts. All good. Got matching parts. I've got the chain soaking in some degreaser to get everything cleaned up. Anyway, how's the sound? Let me know if the sound's good. If the sound is good, I will get on topic and we will talk about today's topic, which is all for Mountain Bike Mom and whoever else wants to listen. I'm putting some stuff away while we do this. My man cave wall. Alright, I guess if I was smart, I could put the lab mic on. Let me see how that works. Good sound. Perfect. Alright. So, as the thumbnail pointed out, and as my title pointed out, Mountain Bike Mom asked about brake burping, hydraulic disc brake burping. My first thought was, like, what is this? So after that, I decided to hop online and do what I do best and researched this topic. And what it seems to be is, hold on, I feel like I ate something. There we go. Piece of hair. So brake burping is the act of taking apart the lever of a disc brake, where pulling a diaphragm out, adding fluid, and getting air bubbles out of the system that way, which is, I can't think of a better word, it's silly. And your brakes are literally designed to do that for you already. So as long as the bike is in an upright position, and for me, I'll sometimes actually put the bike a little more upright, pull the lever down. Every time you pump the lever, air bubbles are going to migrate to your lever, and that diaphragm is designed to take those air bubbles and keep them away from the rest of the system. So as long as the air bubbles are in your levers are going to work fine. Uh, if you're having squishy issues, bleed your brakes. Bring them to a shop, bleed the brakes. During the bleeding process, we pressurize the system, and that will find out if we have air leaks somewhere. So if I'm bleeding a brake and I'm continually getting air bubbles through the system, that means there's definitely a leak somewhere in the system, whether it's big and I'm leaking a bunch of fluid, or it's small and it's just sucking in some air. The only way to really know what's going on with your system is to bleed your brakes. So this brake burp fad that's happening, maybe trail side, if you happen to have some brake fluid with you and your brakes start doing weird things, but you can literally do the same thing by just pulling the bleed cap off and flipping some fluid in there and until you got some leverage. Um, so I feel like I don't think I can do a whole video on brake burping other than the fact that it's a thing. I don't want it to be a thing because that's literally all I can say about it. Um, just I'm at a loss for words on this. So there's there's a few inherent flaws with this as well. I have at least 4 bikes in the shop, and again, this is all part of my research. I have 4 bikes in the shop that I found that I couldn't burp the brakes anyway. I can't pull the levers apart. I can't. There's just I don't know. It's somebody's approach to fix a problem that doesn't exist. Yeah, if you're having air in your line, you bleed your brakes. It's not expensive. You know, they're like, oh, it only takes 15 minutes. It takes me 15 minutes to bleed one wheel on a brake. 20 if I'm being super meticulous. So just don't do it. Don't do it. Bring it to a shop. If you can't get it to a shop, if you got Shimano brakes, you can go to CVS or any little drugstore and get little eyedroppers, and you can literally bleed most Shimano brakes with an eyedropper. So an eyedropper, a little hose, and you're set. I don't think I can go on about this topic because it made my brain hurt last night that we're trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. So ignore anything you ever hear about brake burping. It's not a real thing. It is, obviously. It's all over the internet. People are doing it. Let's check one thing real quick. I'm going to somebody's YouTube channel, and I'm going to type in the magic words here. Oh, good. No questionable stuff on my browser. Hey, look, I'm live. Let's go to our favorite YouTube channel for bicycle information. Guess I could have just flopped open the other one. Anyway, we're going there. So we are on the Park Tools site, loading it up. While I'm doing this, I'm going to try to get chat open so I can always read it. On one of my phones, the one that I have set up for this is not working. So we are on Park Tools site, and I'm going to type in a word right here. B-U-R-P. Burp. Disconnect from the TV. And the DVR, yep, everything's good. So there we go. I'm lagging. Sorry, no, it's not you. It's actually me. I lost internet connection here for a minute. That's why the music's gone away as well. So we are back up. We're back up and running. So don't know where we checked off, but we left off at knowing that Park Tools. What's up, Agent Brian? How you doing, man? We were just talking about this hype that has popped up on the internet about brake burping, disc brake burping, hydraulic disc brake burping. So we were pulling up another site here or another search. Hopefully my internet catches back up. Why spongy brakes, that's a bleed. How to burp disc brakes, that's one guy, Evan Cycles. Brake burps are a lie. Brake burps so far are a lie. Hey, look at that. There are two videos that are popping up that look like they're talking about burping brakes, and then my video comes up that just got posted today. That should tell you a lot about the fact that brake burping, how to fix hydraulic brakes without a bleed, get powerful brakes. I can guarantee they're doing a bleed on that. Bleed, 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 Evan, yeah. Bleed, bleed, bleed. Brake burping is a lie. Don't do it. Bleed your brakes, bring them to a shop. I will bleed your brakes for, this guy's saying $10. I will do both wheels for $25. So yes, you're paying an extra $5, but you're doing $5 and you don't even have to get your hands dirty. Oh, that's for Shimano brakes, by the way. So don't quote me on that. But so James Hutton and Chris Epic and Evan Cycles are lies. I, however, will not be testing this theory. I'm not going to test this theory. There's no way that this is a better idea than just bleeding your system. You know, if you've got a system that you constantly are adding fluid to, you have a leak. You have a problem. Just adding fluid is not a fix to the problem. It's a band-aid over the problem. So, yeah, it happens. It happens. So, anything you read on, feel free to call them out and point them in my direction. I am happy to argue to the T that this is not a good idea right now. That I can't see a reason that it's not a good idea. Like I said, in a pinch, I mean, like, this is a 1 in a million scenario that you happen to have. I'm reaching for something. You happen to have some of this stuff with you in your Camelback on a ride, and you spring a small leak in your hose. This might get you back. This is not a fix for spongy brakes. Brake burping is a lie. It's hard. It's hard for me to even validate the idea behind this guy. Yeah, so you want to burp something, burp your tires. That means ride hard enough to pull them off the bead. If you're running tubeless, burp your tires, that's cool. That's acceptable. So, we're going to push away from this topic unless anybody has any questions. I'm glad to... This makes me very happy that you came to me and asked me that question, because it's a valid question. You know, there are very popular videos. This dude's got 351,000 views on this video, but it was posted 6 years ago. 6 years ago. What's that tell you? It might have been a good solution 6 years ago. It might have been very hard to find bleed parts 6 years ago. Now, I'll sell you a brake bleed kit for like $30. And then you can take care of it anytime you want. So, I'm glad I cleared it up. I'm glad I didn't have to make a whole video about it, because I would have ranted, and it would have been an hour-long video like this live stream is going to be anyway. So, I am glad I cleared that up. I'm glad I looked into it, because I had no idea either. I'd never seen it. I'd never heard anybody talking about it, and now that I'm looking at it, you know, he's got good results for a 3-minute long video, but it's a 6-year-old video. So, you know, it's just not worth it. Not worth the time, not worth the effort, not worth the mess. I'm just gonna bleed my system. Like I said, be done with an eyedropper and a little piece of hose. Let me see if I've got my bleed kit over here somewhere. Shimano's bleed kit's easy. Buy a Shimano bleed kit. You can buy cheap ones anywhere. If you would like, you know what? I'm going to do this for everybody. I'm going to put a link in the description below on a basic Shimano boot kit from Amazon, because that's what I do. A little laptop. Poor little laptop. This thing is just so slow. It's so old. So I feel like I should call him out on that maybe, because it's a evergreen video. It's just gonna keep getting more and more views. So I feel like you should do something about it. Can't recant it because it was probably valid information 6 years ago. But you can definitely retitle it, add a little, this is old information. Alright, let's try this again. Now that the internet's working. There we go. There's sound. Alright, so I am working on getting you guys a link to a very basic bleed kit for Shimano brakes. This is for Shimano brakes only that I'm talking about right now. I will see if there's any kind of good SRAM bleed kits out there, but as of right now, if you're going to do SRAM brakes, I highly recommend just bringing it to a shop. We're going to have the material for it. We use dot fluid. Dot fluid sucks. I hate SRAM stuff. I have, here in the shop, I've got 2 big old things of this Shimano fluid, because I can keep it around. It is hydrophobic. It will not attract water. I don't even think I have any dot fluid here right now. I pretty much order it as I need to bleed brakes. That's it. So let's see what I got. Yeah, and it's hard. It really is hard. So my advice to you and everybody else who is listening or wants to listen, if you see something on the internet that seems like it's a great plan, especially for bike repair, after you've seen it on any other site, go to the Park Tools website or the Park Tools YouTube page. If you can't find it on the Park Tools YouTube page, then it's not a good thing. I mean, these guys are ahead of the curve on everything. Mountain Bike Mom, you saw their post on the WH1, the wheel holder. You also saw my reply on that. It is the most awesome tool for a product that nobody really needs, but it's an awesome tool, and I absolutely want one. We are waiting for it to become available, and I will have one here at the shop soon. I got to use a hammer today and yesterday. I'm happy. Yes. There's another tool that I ordered, or I was going to order, that somebody thought I didn't need to. There's another tool that I was going to get that somebody thought I didn't need, but everything's about saving time when you're working in a shop. So the more stuff you can get done, the quicker, the more accurate, faster, the less you have to move around to do stuff, the more work that can get done. Hey, look, there it is. Okay, this kit comes with everything, and it's a whole $27 for a kit that you can use forever. So yeah, the wheel kit, the wheel holder, Steve, the new owner, he thinks it's a great idea too. You don't know how many times that we're holding wheels in some curious position, trying to get tires mounted, or pulling disc brakes off, or doing something silly where we're just kind of leaning them against the counter. And the wheel holder is an ingenious idea that nobody ever thought they needed, but it's genius. So I'm all about it. I'm happy to have one as soon as they become available through one of our distributors. I'm also looking forward to some new pedals that I'm going to be getting as soon as they become available through one of our distributors. They are going to match the new bike, because that's how I roll. If stuff doesn't match my bike, I'm not doing it right. So I'm stuck on the idea of what I should be doing for wheels. I'm going to do wheels on this bike. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Alright, here we go. It is getting stuck. and enter under the YouTube link Shimano. I don't know if I'm gonna get like YouTube possible flagged for using the word bleed. Connected still. I'll be right back. Need box donuts. It's APL donuts, so that's all good. But where'd you go? I'm back. Hopefully. I don't know what's going on. The internet today is being all kinds of wonky and weird. Go in there, refresh, I should be back. So let's hide that window. Oops. Transition over. Boom! I do cool stuff now. So I'm back. I also don't believe you until I see pictures of it and video of the thing actually working and you actually installing it, because you could have just brought it to a shop and then told me you installed it. I believe you. I feel like you can do it. I know you can. You've got the knowledge. You're willing to do the research. You know who to ask when you have trouble with stuff. I've got no problem giving advice. Hello. Hello. How you doing? Man, this thing's so purple. I gotta get another camera. This one's got a scratch on the lens. Right there. Ready? We're gonna go up. Up we go. Happy girl. I agree. I'm impressed. Proper posts are always kind of fun. And we're up and locking. And angle down a bit. There we go. So that way you guys can see me over here. I need to get, that's what I need. A little hood right over here so it stops the light from coming in. Funny when you find things that you didn't know you needed. Ooh. Thing. I've got a thing. Oh, one's upside down. Hold on. Take two. I don't know which way's up now. Flip was the wrong way. Yes, yes. So, G-Form just did a big sale. I'm getting a new bike. I do have some extra slack in the front. I mean, like at the lever, it's a little clicky, you got a little bit of play. Is it a surprise? No, you know what it is. It's coming. It's not here yet. I will probably do a live unboxing on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I just set up cameras all over the room. Do a full like live unboxing. That seems like a lot of fun.
Now you got some kind of store next door to you. You probably can you keep him over here or he's next door all the time now? Hey, don't go that way, go that way. What's up with you? Where we going? Next door? Let's go. Hey, I already been there.
Okay, why is it that you always come with bills?
Oh, see, the other guy, see, because
they get paid more when they bring
no,
bills.
I'm gonna tell you.
No, I know how it is.
This is what
I used to work for you guys. I know how it works.
You know, I'm a T6, so see the other guys want to get the profits, so they bring in checks and they say we're gonna leave them bills for T6.
Actually, no. Unless you follow me on Instagram, you have no idea what I'm getting yet. But I am getting Orbe.
Okay, guys, take it easy.
Get out of here, man.
Hey, quit going next door, man. I know you.
I can't help it, man.
Don't go now.
I can't help it, man. Oh man. So that was an entertaining interaction. I don't know if you guys were really hearing what was happening, but the next door we used to have a sunglass shop, and she has franchised with her nephew's business. So I have a hemp shop next door. You're from California, you know how it works. Yes, an Orbe is coming. I guess I should leave it at that and just not tell anybody exactly what I'm getting. I can let people take a guess on what I'm getting, because anybody who knows me probably knows what I want to get. So, my other boss is working. So as of right now, I've got a chain soaking in some cleaner because I had to take some stuff apart. I figured while I had it off, I'd go and clean it up. It is not typically part of a basic tune-up to do that, but since I had to pull the chain off anyway, I might as well clean it while I'm getting other stuff adjusted. So that's what's happening on this thing right now. One thing, I guess I should find, I need to find either a great hack or design or something to clean hubs, like the inside of hubs. You know, I do it at home. I use a flexible pipe brush, but I've yet to find like a super easy way to do it otherwise. I don't know. So we're redoing all the cables on this bike, all the housing, and we're replacing derailleur with one old derailleur, which I'm not even 100% sure is going to be okay. It should be. We'll see what happens. So once I get the chain back on, I'll see if this works. I'm not going to be cutting this, but I may need to run the other derailleur on here. Get the brakes set up so they're actually connecting the rim where they're supposed to be. It's always fun. Tip of the day, before you do any brake adjustments, or any adjustments in general, always make sure if you don't have a through axle bike that the wheel is all the way in the bike. It's a thing. So we've got rear section done. We're now moving up to front. And I've already got the front out. I don't know how far I can move this, but let's go for a walk with my camera. So in the front, a lot of times with most mountain bike levers, there'll be a nice little easy access panel to get old new cable in and out. These are not so nice. So come over here and screwdriver style, pull them apart. Sorry, I might smack my camera on the little thing. I probably walked too far away from the microphone for you guys to hear me. Do bike shops sell used tires? Sometimes, actually. We do not, but there are some shops that will sell used tires. Sounds quiet. Yeah, I walked a little too far away. I'm going to turn down the mic and give me 1 second here. I've got a chunk of wired mess here. Oh, that's what I did last time. I just attached the microphone to the other camera. I think I'll do that again. So we should have better audio again. Canton River grades, bar and 26-inch. Dude, the 90s were great. Now, what's up, Ron? Yeah, this is the epitome of some old school mountain bike riding right here. He actually wants me to keep it as old school as possible too. So I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. Try not to lose little tiny screws that are almost impossible to replace. All the way down. Try not to lose that little thing. Old cable out. I wondered how much like recycled cable I would have to use to actually make any money off this stuff. Stainless steel cable. Go around and collect stainless steel cable from everybody's bike shops. Oh man. Ready to ship through WD-40. That's a good start. Now you need to put some actual lubrication inside your shifter. So, I recommend something like this. Let's see if I can put it better in front of the camera. G9 Bow Shield. This stuff is great. It's kind of a great all. The other one was so much easier to do than this one. There we go. And wind the barrel adjuster back in because it's all the way out. Pull it through, make sure it fits back in where it's supposed to go. Shift all the way down, and I don't think I've cut new cable. This has been like a long project today. So this is typically what I use for cleaning stuff out. I also have a couple other things that I spray into things to make them work better. Come back up and around over here. So, like I said, all new cable. If the cable housing on your bike is already routed very well and everything's attached where it's supposed to and you got the right amount of cable, the best thing to do is literally just not reuse your cable, but measure up the new cable against the old cable. And if anybody knows, because this is something that I think I've asked the question once and never got a real definitive answer about it. Should I be using alloy housing covers or alloy ferrules or plastic ferrules, and when should I use one over the other? So if anybody knows that answer, let me know. Let me know either in the comments here, in the comments of the video, Instagram, wherever, if you know the answer to that question. Otherwise, next week we will research it together. All right, so back to doing stuff. bike was actually routed wrong earlier. They actually had the cable routing on this backwards. So underneath here, the front derailleur cable crossed over. So basically did this. It crossed over the rear shift cable. So it does. It's weird. It's a bad position because it's the same side. But I've got some scrap pieces of frame protector that I'm just going to throw on there. So it doesn't get worse because this bike is too cool. Love old bikes. And I've got to adjust his cranks a little bit. Man, we're close. You have T? Oh, you do have T9. That's right. I'm fairly certain I told you that was a good plan last time we talked about it. But T9 is always a good thing. Keep forgetting that we're like moving along the bike here. It says no data, but I am still streaming. It's weird. Yeah, camera's still moving. Everything's still happening. YouTube's stupid. My answer is all of the above. I like it. It's a good answer. You can either be wrong or right at the same time. Schrodinger's answer. I don't even remember what the question was, if that makes you feel any better. I might be a little bit bouncy today. This was literally my breakfast this morning. There's a can of Monster Java in the form of delicious Swiss chocolate. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use that from now on. Schrodinger's answer. You're both right and wrong until the answer is observed. The Psychics 101. Hang on, let me take a look. I feel like this bolt just stripped out a little bit. I thought you ordered stuff for that. I thought that was part of the big spacer drivetrain kit, but maybe not.
It's not for this thing, though.
No, not for that. Not for that bottom bracket, I don't think. All right. So, got shifty bits in places. Rotate the bike back around. Whee! And shipping being lower is great. That also opens us up to the opportunity to order more than one per week. Shipping costs low now. So when we hit 300, send it out. That way we can do more than one order a week and get stuff in here quicker and get more stuff done. I don't know, it sounds like an awesome flavor though. What nutritions are you eating? The tutti frutti kind? Sounds boring. Nobody wants vanilla. The other thing is just give Jason a call and ask him if he knows if there's a reason that we have extra nutrition in there. We have tons of it. Their shipping, that's gone. That's just gone down. That's the new shipping rate. So we're gonna have that until they end up renegotiating their shipping cost with whoever their freight carrier is. Hydraulic brakes are amazing, Ron. Don't hate. Granted, my mechanical disc brakes on 2 of my bikes are also amazing. So either way, it's kind of awesome both ways. All right, we have shift. So until I get a chain on, there's not much more I can do about the shifting aspect. We're going to come around over here where the cables basically are sitting up against the frame. I feel like I should leave my gloves on because I need to wash some stuff. Oil the brakes. I feel like this is a discussion that I need to jump in on. So, Ron feels that disc brakes are not needed on BMX. About 2 years ago, a bunch of road guys said the same thing. Disc brakes are now UCI legal, and basically, if you're racing a road bike, you have disc brakes now. So one of the biggest advantages of disc brakes is why? I guess there's no downside to disc brakes. You know, V brakes are cool, they work, but in general, I don't care what kind of rim brake you have, even the crappiest functional disc brake is going to have more stopping power. As long as it's functional. I mean, like, oil disc brakes just don't work. We know that. Oil disc brakes do not slow you down because we all know that all disc brakes do is slow you down. So as far as disc brakes on BMX go, honestly, I think it's a great idea. You know, there's definitely those situations, and I have the same argument for road bikes. There's those situations that less to go wrong, if you crash. That used to be the case. But guess what? If you crash with V-brakes or any type of a rim brake, and you bend your rim at all, those brakes are a pain in the butt to use after that. So that was more than I like, yeah. So again, disc brakes can be bent by hand back into place, whereas a rim will not. So I still have functional brakes versus having not functional brakes. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of disc brakes. I don't think I will ever get another bike that doesn't have disc brakes. Does this thing have a skirt fitting? Squeeze juice into my pedals. Man, that is old school. I love it. The brake lines can snap. Hydraulic lines are much stronger than you might think. It's very rare that I've ever had an issue with a hydraulic line. But again, we can, as I was saying earlier, we can cable actuated disc brakes. I have cable actuated disc brakes on 2 of my bikes. They still work better than any rim brake that I've ever used. So I don't know. I'm a big fan of disc brakes on any bicycle, except for coaster brakes. If you want to be boss, you ride coaster brakes. Oh man. And it really does, and that's like I was saying, that was the argument with the road bike world for a long time. Was everybody was looking for all the negatives of disc brakes, and positives outwon. Because the negatives are few and far between, and they're technically disc brakes are more aerodynamic. They stop better in any condition. They they just work better all the time. I don't know. It's a fun argument to discuss with people. Um, I've gone from rim brakes to disc brakes on a lot of bikes, and even putting cheap disc brakes, coaster brakes are the only true. Actually, you want to be truly boss. Fixed gear. Fixed gear everything. Fixed gear BMX, fixed gear mountain biking, fixed. Everything should be fixed gear. Man up, ride fixed gear everywhere. No brakes needed. Ever. If you haven't seen it, Blake Sampson from Global Mountain Bike Network did some fixed gear challenges where they do a fixed gear cog that you can bolt onto your disc brake and just flip your wheel around so you can make a fixed gear bike. It was awesome. Alright, so I need to clean this chain up to get the chain back on. Still need to do the front brake cable. So for now, I'm going to pop some videos on for you guys to watch while I randomly move the camera around and do stuff. I can only move it so far, so I can't take it over to the wash basin with me, i.e. the sink in the corner that I poured boiling hot water into a bucket. Oh, poor computer. If anybody wants to support me on Patreon, I have a Patreon page. Just search Pedaling with Paul. I will happily take your donations and put them towards a better computer. Brake burping's a lie. I'm gonna make a video that's just titled "Brake burping's a lie," and not talk about brake burping the entire video. I feel like my computer is mostly crashed on me. OBS videos are still running good though. Sort of. Like the video's still playing. Oh, there we go. Stuff's working again. My poor computer. I need a new computer. I need 2 new computers because I have the plan. I need a mini computer though. So if anybody knows of anybody with a mini computer, let me know. I was thinking I could do it with a Raspberry Pi, but I feel like it's too much work on my part. Trying to load some stuff up for you guys. So that way when I'm not talking to everybody, you have something to watch. You guys are too much. Oh wait, what was in the package? Okay, so G-form stuff is what's in the packages. I don't need to say any more than that, right? What's in the packages is coming in an unboxing video over the next couple of weeks. They will be getting used, so anybody who follows me on Instagram may catch a glimpse of at least one of the things in one of the packages. The other one, the unboxing is probably going to be the only time you really see this product, because otherwise it will be not visible. Ooh, G-Form is nice. You should get on their website. They still are doing warehouse clearance sale at 70% off, and they were doing free shipping for Mother's Day. They might still be doing it. So hop on, get involved, do it. It's cheaper than I can get it for cost here at the shop, so I jumped all over the deal. Limited sizes, limited fun stuff. I'm not sponsored by G-Form, blah blah blah, not paid promotion, etc. etc. I don't make any money off this stuff. I do this for you guys, 70% off the warehouse sale. Yep. It might be 60 now, but either way, it's a steal. I got a crazy deal on what I got. My computer is mostly broken. I cry a little bit. I'm so hungry. I've had one muffin today. It was a chocolate chip muffin. It was delicious. Poor computer. There's like nothing running on this thing. I've got one tab open in OBS Studios, and I'm like baked out on RAM. RAM is 100,000%. Got RAM on this thing too. I need pads. I'm running out of skin. G-Form has some of the best pads that I've ever used, and I would use them. If anybody out there is feeling kind and wants to put in a good word for me with G-Form, let them know that I would love to represent them and wear their pads and just blast them all over the internet. Share with my friends, tell all my friends to go get them. I'm going to see if I can affiliate with them and do some affiliate linking as well. But I have to say, their knee pads so far have saved my knees more times than I can count, and I didn't even know until the ride was done. Like, I remember crashing, I remember getting up, like, oh, self-check, all right, I'm good. And when I go home, I go to take my pads off, and I look down, and I'm like, there's dirt caked into the knee pads. Like, I don't remember hitting my knee. My knees don't hurt. Everything feels okay. And same thing, next day, everything feels good. So I have to give huge props to G-Form. Dude broke his collarbone Saturday at Triple Creek, and another dude broke his collarbone in Orlando. Ooh, tough weekend. I absolutely agree. And by the way, what is up, Lifted Adventure? It is good to see you, my friend. I'm glad you are here. We need to ride again soon. I'm riding somewhere Sunday. Let me know when you're ready to come down to Grapefruit Trail, man. I will always make time for Grapefruit Trail. But I might do Mount Dora this week. I don't know. I feel like I've kind of been putting off riding a lot until the new bike comes in. Plastic bubble. G-Form sells pads for most of those things. They sell. So what's really funny is I am sponsored by Demon United. So I do have a partial ride sponsorship with those guys. And before my trip last year to North Carolina, I was looking at a shoulder brace from my car accident in 2017, and they had the same thing. They had the impact foam protection on it. And I ended up passing on those because they were a little bit expensive, and I was like, I mostly need shoulder support. So I passed on those, and I just bought a regular shoulder brace. And so much of me is kicking myself in the butt for not spending the money and just buying that thing, because it might have been very helpful. I don't know. Mount Dora's a lot of fun, man. If you would like one, I've got more. They're delicious and probably horrible for you. So I'm not sure. So like I said, I've kind of been putting off riding lately, and I've been using every excuse in the book, and most of it's just I made the mistake of riding a bike that fit me, and now I don't want to ride anything else. So I take the dirt jump route still. That's still a lot of fun. I've got the mongoose here at the shop. I should take that out a little bit more. I don't know. Dude, yeah. Some of my funniest crashes just happen from doing silly things. Ooh. I don't know if I told you guys that. So when I got back from North Carolina, when I messed up my shoulder, I couldn't drive my car because I drive a stick. So there's no shifting because the shoulder it's in a sling for 8 weeks or something. So there's no shifting for a while. So my mom had my car, which my bike rack and everything else stayed on the car. One day she went to transport a bike, and next thing I know, I get this picture of like parts of my bike rack. Dirt jumpers are greater than all other bikes. I agree. you're not gonna get an argument out of me. YT's new carbon full suspension dirt jumper is the bee's knees, the mammary glands of bicycles. I don't know how PG mammary glands is, but they're definitely that bike is magic, man. I rode it like for all of one jump session, like one jump line, and I was like, I shut up and take my money. Like, this thing was nice. It's hard for me to validate spending any money on a bike like that because I spent all of $500 total on mine, which included an aftermarket set of wheels and some other nice stuff. But anyway, so my mom had my car, and I get pictures of broken bits. I'm like, what happened to my bike rack? So apparently she was transporting a bike for somebody, and then it fell off my rack. So I reach out to Cirrus because I have a Cirrus Freedom 2 rack, so the little upright in the middle, and I got the parts right here. So I reach out to them, and they basically tell me that the part that broke was a wear part. So right here, where it kind of connects together, the cradle, and this is the piece that goes in the upright, the cradle ripped out of this piece. And so I send them an email, and I call them on the phone, I talk to them for a while, and they basically are telling me that this is a wear part, that it might happen. Like, dude, seriously, you're telling me that every time I go ride my bike and I put it up on this bike rack, there's a chance that my bike might just fall off the back of my rack? Like, are you kidding me? So, annoyingly, I spent the money, which they should have warrantied out for me. There should not have been an issue with them just sending me one of these, because it cost me a whole $15. So I'm not super excited with Cirrus right now. The rack itself is kind of a pain in the butt to use, especially if you have more than one bike. But because of that situation, it warrants me wanting to strap the bikes to the car as well. Like, want to strap on somewhere, just attach it by more than just this and the straps and the wheel trays that are supposed to hold my bikes in there securely. And they have. I mean, like, literally, I've taken my bikes to North Carolina. I've driven all over Florida. I mean, like, those things live on that bike rack. They're on there all the time. I've never had an issue. Now, there's a chance that my mom put stuff on incorrectly, which caused the issue. I don't know. I wasn't there. But it's a little disappointing. You know, a company like that should stick behind their product. You know, especially like this. There's a lot of plastic parts. I do live in Florida, so yes, I understand there's some risk with this stuff, but I don't know. It's hard for me to want to continue to back a product where they're very unwilling to do anything. You know, I got it for this price because I got it through the shop. But that's it. Otherwise, I would have spent like $30 on this thing. Like $30 every year or so. I'm like, I might as well just buy a better bike rack. I am now. I didn't used to be. This bike rack was great. We've got some Thule racks on the roof, and those are retrofit to work on my car because they were square tube racks. And so anyway, so the worst part about this is that a couple weeks ago, I don't know, I don't remember who else was in the channel. A couple other people that I knew were in the channel. These guys knew me too, but I happened to catch a live stream from another YouTuber out in California who they all had a bunch of carbon bikes on the back of this dude's truck and on the tailgate cover like they always do, and they're driving down the highway and the tailgate falls off. Carbon bikes on the highway, run over by semi-truck. I would have cried. I literally would have cried. Whether or not my bikes could be fixed, I seriously would have cried. Um, yeah, so it sucks. So these guys had that situation where they literally bike it's usable. Um, so there's a possible chance that car insurance may cover that because it was a vehicle part failure. But I don't know what the laws are in California. I know here it probably would be an issue, or wouldn't be an issue. Car insurance would take value. I've had a few situations where we've had to deal with insurance companies for bike replacement. It's always a bit of a hassle. But yeah, man. So I really feel for these guys. I wish there was something that I could do to help them out, other than give them a little bit of advice. The one piece of advice that I gave them was I wouldn't shy away from the tailgate cover. I wouldn't shy away from the tailgate mode of transport because it does free up some room in the back. Um, but what I would suggest is running some type of strap like through the rear wheels and attaching it to the truck bed. So if, God forbid, the tailgate falls off again, they could, at least the strap would keep the bikes from leaving the vehicle. You might end up with some bent wheels or some possible damaged parts, but not completely destroyed bikes. Yeah, they're not just bikes, they're small children. I've been driving around my mom's Honda Fit for the last week and a half, and my Trek has been living in the back seat of her car. Freedom and happiness, I agree. Yeah. Bikes are more than bikes for people who are into bikes. And I keep getting more people into bikes. Ooh, speaking of more people into bikes, and it's kind of off topic completely. So, yeah, I agree. Those guys, I feel so bad for them. The only upside for them is where they were planning to go ride. It was a demo day anyway, so they still got there and they ended up demoing bikes for the whole day. So they still got to ride at least. Uh, that little bit of sunshine at the end of that really crappy thunderstorm of a crappy rainbow. um, so the last couple of weeks, I've been running into people that have known me from everywhere from high school, which is not too bad. I graduated in '01, so yeah, haven't changed too much since then. I've become a bit of a fatty, but other than that, the other day I was in the grocery store and actually this girl, it's like, she looks at me and I look back at her. We went to elementary school together in third grade, St. Mary's. I'm like, okay. Like I don't remember third grade. I do. I remember kindergarten. I remember shooting a teacher with a BB gun and things like that. But it happened again last night. I ran into a guy from high school and I ran into a guy that knew me from fourth grade. So, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Is it all ready for you right there?
It is.
Ah, very nice.
Stuck it in the corner for you.
Hey, so you
I might have to do some work. I was trying to get some videos playing in the background so I could. How long have we been sitting on here? Maybe. I gotta take a look. Having some serious technical difficulties. Done enough. You can pull it down. We can put that up here and let me take a look. So I'm gonna do some stuff here. The upside is stuff's always ready to be pulled off the rack. Whenever I kind of stop working for any reason, I can leave it at a point where I can easily pull it off and stop rolling. pull it off and
Pull it off and head to the VIP.
yep, pretty much.
See Jason, hey, what's happening?
So the kickstand, yes, all the way in the back there.
Yep.
Yes, she has to get right there.
Perfect. Well, I'll keep the tires for you.
Pretty much, and that one's adjustable too, so if it feels like it's leaning a little too far one way or the other, it's really easy to adjust.
Okay, great.
Just talking about a couple friends of mine, mountain bikers, over just a big foam pad that's leather. He had about
There go the bikes.
$19,000 worth of bikes in the back of his truck.
Oh my
Every one
God.
of them destroyed. Every single
Oh
one.
man.
Yeah, I was crying on the inside for him.
Oh, I
it was bad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So hopefully there's some insurance stuff, and
Yeah.
the guys are slightly popular enough that
Yeah, they'll get some backing.
they
Yeah.
might get some backing for.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so.
All right, so we're gonna try to move this rack from one bike to another bike, and hopefully, that's the goal right now.
Hey, girl.
See if I can find some Allen bolts for this thing. All right, we're still connected. I can't get videos playing for you guys. Sorry. Gonna keep trying. So that way, when I gotta disappear and do other work.
You know, all I ever put in that thing is like a bottle of water or something. Is there some other? You guys have another idea as far as instead of like a rack on there?
Bottle of water.
So like a regular bottle will fit in there?
Some bottles will fit in them pretty good, not all. I don't know. I do like the idea of having a rack.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, because it opens up your options.
Yeah, you could send that.
Put my hand in there or whatever.
Put your hat. You can, if you decide you're gonna take a bit of a longer ride, or you want to put a nicer lock in there. Like you kind of open up your options to what you have available.
All right. If that'll work and fit on there then. What do you think?
I've been known to make stuff work.
Okay, I like it. Can do.
Apparently they won't let me use a hammer all the time, but I'll make stuff work.
You mean there's other tools?
Apparently.
Who knew?
Apparently.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's right.
Apparently they make me use other tools sometimes.
Here.
It's killing me. I can do just about anything I need to do with a hammer. There's one. And let's get fancy with this one.
You gotta see if I hang on to that one.
What does this bike need? So that bike was just getting a rack removed from it. Gentleman just came in, bought himself a new bike, went fancy.
Oh, who's that?
That would be you. You got the fancy new bike.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So,
well, I've had that thing. I've had that bike for almost 20 years.
okay.
And I really, I haven't used it much, and I want to
It's just that time. I get it.
get myself back into surface shape.
And
So it starts with the aerobics, and I hate to run.
I hate running too.
Huh?
See if I can find proper screws for this thing. Hammer and reusable zip ties. I like it. Apparently, reusable zip ties are the other tool I should be using.
Hammer and duct tape.
Duct tape.
That's a full toolbox right there.
And some type of make things turn that aren't supposed to turn liquid. So I'm a bit.
I wish the other ones were a box. It's that
clean all my clocks out of the garage.
I wish I could on that bike, I am from you. So how much?
A whole $10.
Wow.
A whole $10.
So worth it.
You brought your own tire,
Because
man.
I'd still be struggling. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I bought it like months ago.
So
So it totally collapsed.
we found a bunch of different everything from Thailand to recyclables and stuff. Basically, a fresh tubeless install for fresh tubeless. That includes tape, sealing, and valve install. We had new tape, we had new valve.
Okay.
I see you went tubeless too. I did for a little while and like.
Day one. Man, first day I got that stuff.
So when I first got the Trek, I went through this almost right away, because that's where I was like, that's the best thing for it. The first bomb drive that I did after going tubeless, I destroyed the power.
Well, yeah, it's really not gonna help anybody.
Well, that's the thing. I was following all the advice. Oh, if you're tubeless, you can run by pressure, you can do this, you can do that. So I was. Pressure, supposed to do all this. I destroyed the tires. They began trying to get, I got new tires from Infinity with basically my tires on them. Destroyed that tire. Got another one. Destroyed that tire. Took them apart the first time. I came in a little sideways on the top of the little hole and came in a little sideways and was ready to fire. So when I say destroyed the tire, it ripped the inner like casing of the tire apart. So the rubber was still fine, but the tire was doing this. Well, the first one was, yes. First one was. The second one was a Continental. And it destroyed that. Continental replaced it, destroyed another one. So I ended up with two Continental tires that I ended up selling. Because I just refused to run Continental and actually that was it. Now I'm Maxxis tires, and I love my Maxxis tires. I just don't want to do it.
Works for you.
Well, so the mistake was, and this is, I learned after the first time. So the bomb drive that I did, I was running late to like work and went straight over there. And did the squeeze test and it feels okay. So when I checked the tire after we were like checking the rim and everything, it only had like 9 PSI.
Okay.
So the first one I'll give it, that
was a little low,
that one was probably me.
Yeah.
But the other two I did with almost 30 PSI. Oh, it hooked to the rim great. It didn't come off. That was, if it would have rolled off the rim, the tire probably would have been fine.
Yeah.
But because it stayed so low.
Drink it, suck it, and then it burps out.
Burped a
Then you
little
got
bit,
nine.
and yeah, but no burp, no anything, just, you started going, "Rah," and then the tire was like this, and the rim was perfectly clear. I've learned, you know, I may go tubeless again at some point, it's just, for me, I've had 2 flats my entire ride. Both of which
You
were.
ride where it's way too smooth, but that's all.
No,
Yeah, room in the
I ride everywhere, so. So what's funny is both of my flats came from trails like that though. So I was riding Blue Trail in Vail. I was running a little bit soft and it was really dry out there. So imagine like cobblestone at 30 miles an hour, but really uneven cobblestone. North Carolina, down the park. So yeah, cooking down the hill, I hit a jump, and next thing you hear is like 8 cars just split through there. And then the other one was out Grapefruit Trail, and running tire pressure a little too low. Square case it, snake bit.
Yeah, it's worth going, like, walking around.
It is worth
Watching
walking
the
around.
people
Seen it on
ride
That TV, because I run Grapefruit Trail through as always.
Oh, right. Don't tell me. You can't see.
There's no escaping Grapefruit Trail. It is always, it is everywhere.
I love it. I wish I could do it. But I just, now life's too short. I don't have that long to heal.
My mom
I
keeps,
just don't have that many years left.
every time time I bring my mom out there, she always gets a little bit crazy.
Good. That's cool.
My aunt just doesn't know better, so she'll just follow me. Even though I tell her not to.
Get the whole
I do have the whole family. Louie rides out there, my mom, my aunt, my brother rides out there. They do. My aunt has learned to mostly just go up and down the fire road and then come find us when we're there. So, my mom likes to follow us on the trail. There's probably a pretty good view out there that is comfortable for almost everyone. If you can sit upright on a bike and ride off road, I can take you on the trail. Well, the whole trail is short. The whole 2 miles. But we got guys like Steve Hauser that go out there and run 30 miles, so I don't know how he does it.
Alright, so you're good to go for now, right?
For now. Till my track is rebuilt.
Yeah, I can see what I can do about that. I may not be able to do much today. I feel like my phone sits on. Angry. I haven't ridden this one yet, so.
It's heavy.
One of my bikes is back 38 pounds.
I know you. I know. You're about to put that spring on it and lighten it up. So nuts. That great big trail, that is. It's down in Palm Bay, and it's worth the way it's walking around. Wild, not Palm Bay. Not Palm Bay. Yeah, yeah. Where he speeds up the film,
Oh, I thought that was a goose on the film.
Yeah. My goosey great.
Yeah, well, no, it was grease on that. Goose.
Alright, I'm at the edge of medium large. So the problem is, I got on this one. Because the trek is so when I'm sitting on it, my foot's here, my knees are here. It was really close on the trek, which is why it's not very tight. I don't think you'll get it.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you on the trail.
We got it today, so. Yes.
I brought him a bike to use.
Which one? How much does it weigh?
38 pounds, and you said
Yeah, you don't need that.
When
That's the
you're
one he
standing
crashed,
with
and that's the one he crashed on too.
try this one.
I fixed the crash problem. It's been handled.
It's all shiny and pretty.
It's really shiny and pretty. It is just massively heavy.
Kinda like your cars you drove, so.
Yeah, they can look great, but it doesn't mean they're any good.
See you guys.
Alright, see ya.
Let me know how the shot.
We're gonna cover there, I wanna get rid of this stuff.
Buy stuff, people. Apparently my live stream is. Hey, am I back on? Apparently I'm live streaming again. Fixed it. Everything crashed on me earlier. Somebody texted me a little while ago, I think.
So I should stay away from Fox Air Shop.
You should stay away from Fox. You should stay away from RockShox. You know, I'm just not a big fan of Fox stuff. I've had some problems with them quite a bit in the past. As far as this is concerned, this is more of a maintenance issue than a shock manufacturing issue.
I'm confused. I have those 85 Main Creek jobs. The one that I have on the R200, it's shorter throw, but it's the same,
Canister, yeah.
and they run fine. But the ones I have on my bike keys,
So a lot of it has to do with pivot design and linkage design. So it's how it's compressing, because it's not. If the design is a little bit off, it's not as linear as it should be. It should be very in and out. If the design is slightly out or up or down or slightly off, it doesn't compress as smoothly as it should. Like her fork, I could barely compress her fork. She weighs all of 85 pounds. I weigh 230 pounds. I should have been bottoming in that out by leaning forward. But I can't. It was, and I switched compression settings, and that's just a Fox issue. Hey, apparently I'm still alive. That's cool. Fox has a real big issue with stiction, and that's an actual thing. I have some shock grease. I literally have stuff for suspension.
I know when I put the O-ring kit that was in the Main Creek, they gave you this little tiny dollop, a small kind of thimble.
Yep. And,
Size thing,
yeah, and then you just need it inside. It helps keep stuff lubricated. Hey, look, I'm still alive. Well, I crashed earlier. I don't think anybody's watching anymore.
Today?
Well, no, not there.
Over there.
Yeah,
That was being into that.
I could.
My phone
is what's going on up there. Yeah, that was.
Can't see ya. All I saw was the camera hitting the dirt. Yeah, that was good.
I have some pretty good video of this crash. Only out of one camera, but it did exist. Yeah, so you have the ability. Website is having some issues. So the best thing to do is actually come in and contact Steve. So yeah, we've been back for a while, looking for out a bit, and so as far as giants go, I would honestly recommend to you the giants. Sucks is you can't get much more bay at that price, but wow, I broke my computer again. Huh. Like I said, that giant that I was talking to him about is a good bike. And it retails for like 2 grand. Those are all very budget oriented. Those things are. The orange bike, the same bike. Paid $500. We put. I had a hard now. Retail value, 6 grand. Here's the bike.
Not us.
Well, no, it is.
Somebody I knew was buying things on the Walmart.com.
Well, that's because Walmart.com is also a marketplace website.
Yeah.
So there's something for your area.
They wanted to send it back, and they said, we don't take things back.
Yeah, you have to send it back to whoever.
Well, they said, no. I think call Walmart, they'll cost them. And Walmart, if it's a Walmart thing, they got a reason.
So
Those things, you know.
Rock Shop's here. $1,000 port at Walmart.com. You can get really nice white stuff at Walmart.com.
There was a place, and I called, and I was like,
Yep. Great website.
I was getting all this, and they had the best food, best prices, best.
They're on now.
They're part of Walmart. They sent me to Walmart up there. I said, I had talked to them on the phone, and that was what, 10, 15 years ago. Three girls, can't remember the name. They send one bar, no, one bar, but the three girls own it, and the brother. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Somebody else bought them out. They used to buy stuff all the time because they had their website actually hasn't changed. This is the exact layout of the website.
And the girls, they would sell thousands of licenses. And I caught them during the peak part of the season.
Yeah.
The brother was sitting this side, the two girls were sitting over here, and their cousin was sitting on the other side. And they all had the three-sided benches, and they were all putting bicycles together. Every 20 minutes, they were hopping one out. So they were making 4 bicycles an hour. But then they moved the one girl.
Yeah, I do. I really do want to get paid $10.
And
my boss isn't going to pay me for not being important.
Oh, it doesn't make any difference. They were going to let you donate the whole thing to them.
The hell no. My money.
And I said, what? And the girl that was handing out the papers said, well, I can't tell you what it is. I just have to tell you to read it. And if you agree, just sign it. And if you don't, just hand it back. And I said, oh, this means that I don't get paid for being here? She goes, I just need to know if you need to agree or disagree.
Well, and that's the
I'd
thing.
rather not.
You've asked the question. By law, they're supposed to answer.
Well, that was the answer she gave me.
They're supposed to. Does this mean if I sign it that I'm not going to get paid? Well, you have to answer yes or no to that. That is a yes or no question. They are supposed to answer that question.
Yeah, they'd rather you just donate the money to them, so they, I said, what are you gonna do with
Why
it?
do I want to know? And that's why I refuse to go to jury duty anymore. I've done it once. I probably won't have to do it again for another like 20 years.
Oh, they got me 2 years in a row.
I sat for the entire day and then finally they just let me go.
They marched this up, marched this down, one guy killed somebody, and the other guy was beat somebody else.
I was doing therapy. I use it all the time. It's great.
I'll see if I have two of them. I just don't know where it is. Somebody was throwing one out one time. I was over in Cocoa Beach. It was like a $2 or $3 thing. And I went, ooh, I know what that is. Because I got the one you can put your foot in or your hand.
Nice.
And somebody said, you can put your hand where your foot was. And I went, yeah, they made it.
Full of slightly boiling wax, sure, why not? Eric is actually really good at keeping.
It never gets that. It
Well,
melts, but
it's hard enough to melt, but it's also.
Because I hold my hand in the thing for about 60 seconds and pull it out. And then I wait till it dries to stick the other one in there. And then I do that 4 minutes until they're thick. And then I wrap them up in their things and hang out for a while. It's harder when you do your feet because you only do one foot at a time. Because inevitably, once if you do both your feet, you start hopping. And you think, oh, I got to break that.
Right now.
That's bad.
See if anybody else actually rejoins my live stream.
it's a grass, one grain of the grass, not big, Yeah, we wanted to be dedicated. But we have to put up maybe a flyer or something, before everything, maybe each one time. Get these man, so much fun. Let's get these, we go around, let's see, we find out who's on hold, let's see, we go around. Right? We go up, I don't need to go up. Get organized, let's go. So these people that are busy, but then you guys will do something, something. You guys from the Philippines? Oh, yeah. They took me to lunch, man. We sit down and they feed this and everything. He wanted to operate. See, the operation. Right? After he seems to get to be one. So he's planning something. They're going to hear something, but they want to write. Saturday and Sunday. Something. It's still going. We gotta get into something. Let's do something. Maybe come out with something. You know?
I believe August.
Oh, yeah, it's early, it's August.
Yeah, it used to be September, long time ago. August, so we'll still be, yeah, we'll still be technically in the summer.
Alright, what you guys doing? Hanging out?
I'm getting this bike done. And I'm going home, getting food, sitting in front of my computer, getting some more stuff done.
Put the horns on here, everything.
think so.
See this? No? Need more juice?
No, it's just these are really tight.
You're trying to get it out?
Yeah. Gotta go on really quick.
That isn't going last, is it?
Yeah, and going for Alright, this thing's done. You can actually tell them to stop smoking over there. Because they're not supposed to be seen smoking. I go talk to Mr. Ryan or Mr. Ryan.
I will bring it up in the next meeting. So, and, hopefully he reads
I would just go talk to him. He's that type of guy. He will, yeah, you're better off literally just going and letting him know that, hey, you know, I understand this guy, you don't want your guy smoking by your restaurant, but they don't need to be smoking right in front of my shop either.
they just put butts all over the
They're all smoking right out over there
For
too.
me, it would, I don't care that you're out here smoking, but, you know,
Well, that's,
throw your butts away.
but that's the whole point. So Mr. Ryan doesn't want them smoking and associated with them smoking by the restaurant.
Yeah, so they come down
They
here
come down
or
here,
they
it
walk
doesn't-
out to the
so-
door.
These guys ain't video.
Yeah, so, and I don't know why, because no smoking sign. I honestly would, no smoking within 50 feet of the shop. I don't know, count however far it is to get down to the pub. And go from there. My wife would not stay on for any length of time.
Like, it's so bad, it won't even go.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that. You can start getting stuff loaded so you can go home. Alright, well, it's working now, and nobody's watching, but now we're actually ending the live stream. 11 hours of watch time. 11 minutes of watch time. Hold on. Let me actually end it.